got something for you that a lot of you have been waiting for that I really haven't had the time to do. But now that I actually got a few free minutes, we're out here to shoot our bow, to get some shots through it, to knock off the rust. We got to get some sight marks, and then after we kind of get back into the whole shooting thing, I got a product from a company that I really like dealing with that I got a test for them. Can't tell you what it is yet, but I will tell you this: I haven't really done the testing yet, but I have kind of played with it and kind of got an idea of how it works, and it is going to be awesome. It's going to really fill a niche market that hasn't been touched yet. And I'm really excited for that company and that product to come to you guys. But for now, let's grab out the bow the way it is, get it set up, and let's shoot some arrows. We need to move up a little bit. All right, we are starting out at 20 yards because, again, I haven't had the time to shoot my bow. So, and I also lost, I had to erase my phone and ended up losing my sight mark app. So today is about getting sight marks and getting back to shooting. So I think this is close. I kind of guessed at it. We're gonna let one rip, see how she goes. All right. I'm not even gonna look at it with binoculars. It's literally the first shot I took today. Let's walk up together and see how it went. I'll take that, considering that I haven't shot my bow in 6 months, I think I shot it in January. It is now June. So yeah, roughly 6 months I haven't shot my bow. So I'll take that shot. I will tell you, it felt horrible. Those of you that shoot know what I'm talking about. But we're in kind of the right vicinity, so I feel good about that. Let's get some more shots out of it. I gotta admit, it does feel good to shoot again. I've been getting a lot of questions from my friends out in San Diego about if I ever shoot a bow anymore, or do I even know what archery is, all that stuff like that. It's not that I haven't wanted to shoot, I have. It's just been, since I moved out here, I've really been focused on the college thing and been doing the fishing thing. The fishing thing's easy because I can just go right, within probably 20 minutes of where I live. No, not even 20 minutes. 15 minutes of where I live, there's 10 places to go fish. This archery range is like a half-hour drive for me, which now that I know where it's at, it's actually not that bad, and I'll probably come a lot more often. And the other closest one to me is like, I think 25 minutes, and I think you have to be a member there, and I'm still trying to figure that out. So, it's not that I haven't wanted to shoot, it's just that I haven't really taken the initiative to take the time to get out and do it. But we're gonna get back in it, we're gonna shoot some tournaments, and hopefully I can get a lot on film for you guys. We'll shoot a 3-arrow group, and then we'll take you guys up there and check it out. That one went off just a tad low. I think I'm still on the white, but that's a big white for 20 yards. I think that's like a 55 or 60 yard white dot. I don't know, it's the hunter round, but I've been out of it, so I can't remember. And that one went off to the left a little bit. So the first one was good. The second one I think is a little low, and the third one's just a little left. But let's check them out. Yeah, so number 1, number 2, number 3. So I'm okay with that just because I know that's exactly pretty much where my pin was. That's pretty much exactly where my pin was when each one of those went off. So the arrows are hitting behind the pin, so I'm good. I'm happy about that. I just have to work on me and getting me back into shooting shape. You know, my shoulder isn't as strong as it was because I'm not shooting all the time. And I think that probably right now with the stabilizers and everything like that is probably not set up ideal considering I haven't shot my bow in so long. And we may play with some stabilizer adjustments today and stuff like that, but I think realistically it's just me needing to get back into shooting shape. You can't put your bow down for 6 months and then expect the pin to just sit right in the middle. So let's shoot a couple more shots from 20, then we're gonna move back to 40-ish and let her eat. You guys ever get the feeling that your shot feels like an unfolding lawn chair? That's kind of how mine's feeling right now. I feel tense. I don't feel like I'm fully relaxing. So I think that's, and again, it's just because I haven't been shooting my bow. That one felt more relaxed. Pin still is doing a lot of that business though. Instead of, you're always going to see movement. For those of you that haven't shot a whole lot, you're always going to see movement. It's just how much movement you see that's acceptable. So you can, you know, balance your stabilizers different. You can play with your draw length a little bit to see that movement slow down. Very rarely does it ever just sit in the middle, and usually if it just sits there, you'll typically have a little freak out moment, like why is this happening, and then that thing goes way out of the dot and the shot fires. So I'm okay with a little bit of movement. I just don't want to see my pin doing that type of stuff. I just kind of want to see it just floating around real gently. That one felt good. I think I got at least 2 in the X on that little round, maybe 3. But again, let's go check it out. So, focus, there we go. So pretty much 3 X's. 2 of the X's are right where they need to be. One's a little high. Again, that's probably just me. Just not as stable as I was. So, I'm good with that. Let's move back a little farther. First I want to take that sight mark down because that's a good enough sight mark for now to put into my app. And I'll show you the app that I use, and I'll kind of give you a rundown of my bow setup here in a little bit. Let's just get some more shots in. 40 on the dot. And here's the deal, guys. As I've said 100 times, just getting back into shooting. More importantly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys about anything. I feel that people, you know, take pictures and tell some, you know, archer's tales or whatever. I don't have any need to. I know I'm not gonna shoot well. That's okay with me. It's about getting back into it, getting back into the muscle memory, the rhythm, the timing, all of that stuff like that. That's what this is about. So, right now on our site, we have 1425. So, 10, 11, 12, 13, 1425. So we want to make sure to make a note of that. I don't have a pen, so I'm just going to write it right here in the old sand. But 1425 was a decent 20 mark. So, just because I kind of understand, you know, I've shot this bow enough, I kind of know where I need to go. I'm going to run it down to about 22. I know 22 will get me on the bell down there. I might be high, I might be low, but I know I'll be on the bell. So we'll let one rip, and then we'll see where we're at. I am going to break out the binoculars instead of walking down there right now. Okay. That might be a fluke, but it's just on the left side, but in the X. So that might have been, the shot felt decent. A little bit of something that I'm struggling with right now in this heavy canopy that we're in is my ring to ring's not exactly right. I think I need to change out my aperture and my peep, make it a little bit smaller, get a better ring to ring. So it's kind of floating a little bit right now, which means my scope housing is actually looking smaller than my peep. So essentially, instead of them lining up on top of each other right now, the view that I'm seeing is from your guys' perspective. This is my peep and my sight housings like this, so there's room to float around, and you don't typically want that. You want your peep and your housing to perfectly eclipse each other, I guess, which will cause, and the reason why you don't want that, it'll cause ups and downs, lefts and rights if you're not centering that peep over that housing exactly the same every time. So it'll create inconsistencies. That one's a little low, but I think it went off a little low. I've never shot these bales before. It's almost like a fiberboard bale. They're very clean and they look very nice, and they seem to pull pretty easy. Okay, that was me. I pulled that one out the left side. I felt it when it broke. But let's go down there and check them out. So not bad. Not bad for the first 3 from 40. I feel like I guessed pretty well on my sight. Again, it was a guess, but it was an educated guess. I kind of knew where I needed to be. That last one that was out the left, I told you, when the shot broke, I could see the dot going left, so, or the pin. So I'm not too upset about that. That's all right. So we'll make a note of that sight mark. Let's step back to 60 and fling a few. All right, so we're sitting at 60 now. I got 1425 for my 20 mark. I've got 22 even for my 40 mark. So if we're sitting at 22, I'm gonna go to, let's call it 30. Might be a little long, a little high, but we'll set it at 30 for now. I will tell you, I'm not shooting a lot of speed right now out of this bow, and I couldn't even tell you what it is, to be honest with you. The last time I chronoed it was a year ago, and I don't remember what it was shooting. It's somewhere, if I had to guess, it's somewhere in the high 270s, maybe low 280s, but I really think it's like 276. So. Okay, that broke low, but I also think it hit low. Yeah, like way low. So let's go about 31.25. For those of you that don't know, the numbers that I'm referencing on the side of the site, they don't have anything to do with yardage. They're just reference marks on your site. So I'll take these three numbers, I'll put it into the app that I use. It's called Archer's Mark. It's 20 bucks, but it's a one-time subscription for 20 bucks, and it's amazing. It's been very, very accurate for almost everything that I've done. Some of the very short marks, like 3 and 2 and 4 yards and stuff like that, they'll be a little wonky, but it actually lets you shoot them in and adjust them as you need them. So, but anything from like essentially 15 to 80, 90 yards, this thing's been dead on. So essentially what I'm trying, so again, what I'm trying to tell you, these reference marks that I'm calling out, they have nothing to do other than just to give me a distance to set my sight at. I know a lot of you already know that, but for those that don't. That broke decent. I think it was a little left. Was a little left and a little low, so we need just a little more. I'm gonna put it at 31.85. So, as far as marks go, a little hard for you guys to see, but essentially these marks right here, these are your big marks, and then on top here are your small marks. So I'm at 31 on this scale and 85 on that scale. All right, that one broke okay, not the greatest. I'm gonna let my arm rest for a minute, and let's go check those out. Okay, so yeah, number 1 right there, number 2, and then number 3. So number 3 seemed to be a good mark. I'm not gonna just trust that because that shot was floating a lot. So as I said, it felt okay. It didn't feel great. I would rather it feel great and then see it hit there. So let's shoot a few more from 60 real quick. Okay, so there's the first one. Told you it broke low. This be the second one, and then that third one broke just on the left side. So I'm pretty happy with those marks. So I'm gonna keep those for now. And the other thing too is I'm getting ready to change out that product that I gotta test, which is gonna mess with my sight marks anyway, so I'm not too worried about getting them solid right now. Just kind of showing you guys what I do. All right, so for equipment, I am shooting right now, this is the Bowtech Fanatic 3.0. You know, they started with the Fanatic and then did a 2.0 version where they changed some stuff, and then a 3.0 has kind of been their resting thing. What I really like about this bow compared to the other ones is it has a wider grip, slightly wider grip, but a nice flat back on it. And then I always put the grip tape on it, especially for days like today when it's hot and humid and your hands are sweating or in the rain. I always put the grip tape on it. So that's the bow that I'm shooting. The stabilizers that I'm shooting are Bee Stinger Premier Plus bars. I got a 30-inch bar with 3 ounces out front and a 15-inch bar with roughly 12 ounces. Normally I shoot more weight. Usually I'll shoot about 18 to 20 ounces back and 5 to 6 ounces up front. But when I shot in January, it was just too much weight because I hadn't shot. My shoulder wasn't strong enough. So I ended up taking a bunch of weight off, getting it down to where it was more manageable for me. And so that's where we ended up. The sight that I'm shooting is the Black Gold Target sight. I love this thing. I'm not sponsored by Black Gold, but I love this product. The reason why is you have 2 adjustments for your windage. You have a major adjustment back here on the bar, and then you have your micro adjust up here on the scope like you're used to seeing on most other sights. You got a long travel. It has the rapid travel in it. The gears are solid in it. There's no slipping or anything like that. Micro adjustment on your first, second, and third axes. So those of you that know, you try to set your first or your second axis, and the thing you tweak the bolt just a little bit and the thing comes out of whack. It doesn't happen with this because it's all based on a little Allen wrench. You stick in there, you set it, you tighten down your lock screw, and you're done. The scope that I'm shooting is a Shrewd scope. It's a 29mm scope. I like that for 3D and target because it gives me a narrower view, but I still can see enough that I'm not lost and I don't lose the targets. I'm shooting I think this is a 19 thousandths up pin right now. Usually I shoot a 29, but I didn't have a 29 in green and I wanted to try green, so I'm shooting a 19. I'll probably go back to the blue with the 29 thousandths pin. I see it better. The blue is, for me, it's just more calming because you can't really see it and it doesn't like jump out at you like the green pin does. So I'll probably end up going back to that, and then I'm running an LP light kit for that. As far as the rest goes, ripcord all the way. This is the ripcord drive. This is actually the prototype, so if you guys get one, this piece right here will be rounded. This was a prototype they sent me to try out, and it hasn't failed, so I just didn't feel the need to switch it out with a new one. It's been an awesome rest. It's limb driven. You can go to top or bottom limb. What I like about it, and you'll see, I got it set up with a lizard tongue on it. So you might say, why would you run a lizard tongue and a drop away? I like the little bit of support that the lizard tongue gives it and allows it to kind of do its thing as the arrow starts to move, and then it drops and gets out of the way, so there's like no chance of vein contact or anything. So that's why I shoot it like that. That's why I run it that way. These strings are actually made by my buddy out in San Diego. If you guys want a set of them, they're very, very good strings. He's relatively new to the string game, but he's absolutely killing it. I've got several hundreds of shots through these strings and they haven't moved, they haven't creeped, no twist, nothing like that. He does a really good job. So if you want it set, let me know and I'll get you hooked up with him. As far as my release goes, I've shot a lot of releases. I still have a lot of releases, but I always go back to the Fulcrum by True Ball. This is Jesse Broadwater's signature release. I like it. It's brass. It fits my fingers really well. This is actually the large. Fits my fingers really well, and just absolutely love it. In fact, I love it so much that I have 2 of them. The reason why I have 2 of them is I have them set slightly different, not much, but just a little bit. So if I start anticipating the shot, I reach in, I grab the other release, it kind of resets me a little bit and lets me break a nice, smooth, clean shot without being hesitant about it. Arrows, 3 companies: Bowtech, Gold Tip, Ripcord. Those 3 companies I absolutely love. I love black gold as well. But as far as arrows go, I'll never shoot, you say never, but I'll probably never shoot any other arrow than Gold Tip, because I truly believe that this is the strongest arrow, the toughest arrow that you will ever shoot. That's their motto, that and damn straight. Right now I'm running a 22 series for 3D, and you can even run them in target, you know, like this field round, hunter round, anything like that if you want, because they're still within guidelines. But I'm running the 22, trying to get a little more speed out of them. I actually prefer the X cutter, I think, because the X cutter for me is just a money arrow. It shoots well no matter what. It's pretty plain and simple. You cut it to length, square the ends, slap your tip in, slap your nock in, put some fletchings on it, and it shoots X's. This arrow here is a little more finicky. You got to tune it a little better, play with point weight, play with length to get it to where it shoots really well. But once you do, it shoots pretty awesome. As you can see, I was calling those shots, so it was hitting behind the pin. If I thought it went left, it went left. There was no, I thought it went left and it ended out right. So they're hitting behind the pin. They're really good arrows. I run their pin bushing and their mini HD nock, I believe it's called. Vanes that I'm shooting are flex vanes. I like these vanes because they're very durable, but they give the rigidity needed to keep the arrow flying straight and correct well and stuff like that. So that's why I shoot those. I appreciate you guys watching, but right now I gotta put on that other product, get some shots through it, test it out so I can get some feedback to that company. And then when it comes time for release and everything like that, I will do a video on that product, because I do want you guys to see it. It's an amazing product. It kind of blew my mind. It's a very simple design in the idea that you go, why hasn't that already come out? Like, you'll see it and you go, why isn't that already a thing? But it's not. And so this company did it, and it's absolutely awesome, and I'm just excited to shoot it, and I can't wait to tell you guys about it. So thanks for watching this video. If you like the archery videos, if you want to see more of this stuff, leave me a comment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you haven't already done it, and then hit that little bell for notifications. But specifically, if you want to see more of these archery videos, leave me a comment. Let me know, because it's easy for me to go out and shoot a fishing video. It's a little more difficult to do this, which I don't mind doing. I like doing for you guys, but I want to know if it's something that you want to see. So let me know. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you soon.